Good morning, friends. Good morning, Jai Bhim, Jai Mulyawasi, Jai Samvidhan to all our viewers of MNT News Network. We welcome you all again this Sunday on an English subject which we are, which we all the week wait for. So today we have a very important subject as again we came up with very deliberated subject where we will be going through with our guest speakers, a guest who will be talking about this subject and who will dwell on this subject and guide us how we are going to move ahead. So I would like to take through the subject of today's is judicial independence, myth and reality. Today's guest in front of us is Mul Nivasi Advocate Bhim Kishore ji, who is advocate in Supreme Court of India, New Delhi. I would like to bring in our guest, Sir. Sir Jai Bhim, Jai Mul Nivasi to you, and welcome to today's discussion on MNT News Network on the subject Judicial Independence, Myth and Reality. Welcome, sir.
Jai Bhim, Jai Mulyawasi sir. Thank you so much for inviting me for this very important topic. And thanks to MNT News Network for inviting me, and thanks to you, sir. Jai Bhim, Jai Mulyawasi sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for coming on this program. So, sir, today's subject we have is judicial independence, myth and reality. So, judicial independence, the subject itself is a very important look to us because country is going through various Supreme Court decisions and the judicial system it allows. So, we would like to understand why this subject is important for us today and what is this subject talking about to all of our viewers. Yes, sir. Please, sir.
Yes, sir. Actually, thank you so much, sir. Actually, this is the very important subject for in today's era. If you can see, if we are talking about the India, it's very important topic today's. So before talking about this topic, we must know that if we just compare this Indian judicial system with other countries, it will be very beneficial for us. Today, I will talk about India, USA, Soviet Union, England, or France. Actually, there are several factors which affect the independence of judiciary in any country. So these are the countries which will I talk about. First, I will talk about the country USA, where how the judiciary works and how they get appointed and the removal. Actually, the independence of the judiciary depends upon the appointment, removal, working procedure, tenure of the judges. It all the factors are that which affect the independence of the judiciary system in any country, sir. If we talk about what we say in America, we have the Senate. When we appoint any judge in any in court, they have the permission of senator. It means the senator is the whole and sole power in America. He is responsible to appoint any judge. And if the person is appointed by any person and he is giving any judiciary verdict, it will affect that person's mind because it was appointed by someone else. That is how we can see in USA, judiciary is not independent, so much independent. And if we talk about France, it will be the same of the France also. And if we talk about the India, I will say that India, how Indian judiciary works. Actually, in India, what happens? 1/3 of the High Court judges are from district judges. 1/3 are from the practicing advocate, and one from the permission of the president with the collaboration of what we say Supreme Court Chief Justice of India. They give the permission and they appoint the judges. But what comes in reality, we talk about the appointment of judges in High Court and Supreme Court, it was given by the Prime Minister of India. It means the person who is appointing judges in High Court and Supreme Court, it was indirectly by the President of India. That is why we are not independent in India also. If we see that we have so many in India, we talk about India, we have seen so many judgments like Ram Temple judgment. It was given by Justice Gogoi in the bench, included more than five judges. It was a five-judge bench which gave the judgment about the Ram Temple. And Mr. Gogoi was a Chief Justice of India at that time, and he said that I am just doing these things because in my last night dream, someone came and said and told me that you have to give this judgment, and it was out of five judges justices. There was DY Chandrachud also, which was in the middle of that judgment, sir. And if you remember, the 5 to 6 months before, there was a function at the home of the chief CGI, who invited Narendra Modi in his home for the Ganesh Chaturthi puja. So you can see the judgment they're giving, somehow they are in the influences of the other persons, judicial persons or political persons, and they are giving so many judgments against the person who are not in the bench, who are not in the judges listed of the High Court, Supreme Court. And you can see that there are so many other factors when we talk about trial court, we talk about High Court, we talk about Supreme Court. In trial court, what happens? In trial court, we have the exam, but in High Courts and Supreme Court, we don't have any exam. It was done by recommendation. And when it comes to the higher judicial posts, it comes after the conclusion. It comes after the conclusion that they will be appointed by the uh, what we say, by the permission or by the recommendation of the higher Supreme Court judges. It means that you can see somehow the Indian judicial system is not independent, and they are we are facing that is why we are facing so many problems. If we go to a trial court, we can see easily the
Right.
person whose name is like from others. Like in India, we are talking about Mool Niwasis, who are 90% of the population. But if we talk about their judges and their judges, they don't have appropriate portion in the representation of Supreme Court and High Court. That is why we are not getting the, what we say, that we are not getting justice. We can directly say. Yes, sir.
Yes. Yes, exactly. Thank you. I mean, the subject you have chosen is very important today, just because the Indian judicial system today is being influenced by religious customs and influential people around them, and also subjugated by abstract thought process. Like as you explained, that something came in somebody's dream, a legal justice. Advocate thought something about it and he delivered the judgment next day. So it is the Indian judicial system these days are look like, is being infiltrated by the masses who belongs to a very small minority in India. As you rightly reflected, that 90% of people is not been reflected in the Indian judicial system. So in this topic, for our all the viewers, is very important why the judicial independence is required for the correct justice system in the country. So today's our guest will also talk about different countries' judicial system, how it is being performed, and in comparative to how the Indian judicial system is being performed. So thank you so much for bringing this topic, sir. And I will come back to you again to try to understand in depth why the judicial independence is required and how other countries are also performing, how they conduct their judicial system there, and how the justices are delivered. Back to you, sir. Please explain us on that.
Sir, in England, they have the procedure of selecting the judge. It was done by the crown, a monarchy. Crown selected the persons so that they can represent in the courtrooms. And what happened in India, they have the very manipulated system we call collegium system. We can easily see that there are 25 to 350 families which give every year Chief Justice of India and judges of Supreme Court and High Courts. And why Indian judicial system is not independent? You have remember that after the judgment of the Ram Temple, Justice Gagoi was given Rajya Sabha membership. He is the member of Rajya Sabha, and
Right, sir.
after their resignation or their retirement, they are having so much what we say very luxurious life. They are having arbitration cases which belong from 700, 800, 11,100. It means they are doing some favor in the judgment system in their judiciary, and after that they are getting their fruit out of the judgment.
Yes.
What happens now? The Chief Justice, earlier former Chief Justice of India, Chief D.Y. Chandrachud, why he invited Narendra Modi at his home? He's completely breaking the Indian Constitution Article 51A, which says that state have the scientific temperament, and he is inviting he can do anything at his home, but he should not publish it. He is making publishing so that public will follow, and he will see
Yes.
what. Sir, we have so many different culture people, we have different religions our country, but what is happening that Chief Justice of India only inviting one person for the prayer of the Ganesh Chaturthi. What the persons of the other community will feel about? Do you think a person who is having the mindset of this kind will give free consent or free willful or any prejudice without any prejudice judgment? I don't think that he can just give judgment without any prejudice. So
Right.
if we see there are so many persons, if we talk about Supreme Court, there are so many persons. I'm not talking about religious, but they are exploring, they are showing others that we follow this religion. Then what about others? And before 2 to 3 months, there was justice from court. I just forgot the where he was appointed. He said we are in the majority and in India majority will rule, and he was supporting BJP party, if I'm not wrong. It means they are just what they are doing whenever they are having the opportunity, they are establishing and they are making their persons to sit on the chair of the justice and do favor after having the seat in the favor of the party. So I don't think that judicial system is free in India. And if you talk about other countries where there are one religion is following, in America, they follow the Christianity, but what about other
Yeah.
religions? They have the
Yeah.
mindset. And if you talk about India, then if you talk about India, India is very in India we have a very casteism in India. Suppose a person is born in a family where casteism is having, they are talking about other caste, they are talking about other persons, and when they grow up, casteism inculcate in their minds like that they think that the person who is having another caste is our enemy.
Right.
And if we know there are so many Brahmins, like in past, they had done something wrong with us, and they are talking about their children that we must not do these favors, we should suppress them, we should oppress them, we should not take them opportunities. And when they got the seat of the justice, how will they give the justice to us? I have seen so many things. If I talk about the Lalu Prasad Yadav case and other political parties person's case, they have, suppose a person has done same crime. When Lalu
Yeah.
Prasad Yadav applied for the bail, judge was
Mm.
saying that you were the minister and you have very influential power. You will influence the evidence. That is why I'm not giving you bail.
Bail. Mm.
And when a person who is sitting on the bench is from the like he is from Brahmana Kshatriya Vaishya, and the person who is the accused he is from Brahmana Kshatriya Vaishya category, he does not think about that anything. He completely give him without any what do we say without any prejudice others, without prejudice
Yes.
last person, he gives him bail and he does not see anything. He says that okay, we will just do these things. And if I talk about Sanger, Sanger, I forgot the complete name. Delhi High Court granted him bail on the basis that he has an operation of retina, and he was talking about that I want a treatment, and AIMS will give me treatment. That is why I need a bail. And if when we go to the court, we ask for the bail for other person, court says that Vakil Sahab, we can easily see the medical system in Tihar jail or other jails is better than AIMS, but they are giving him bail, not others, because he is belonging from their category, their caste, and from their
Yeah.
class, and from a particular political party. So, sir, that is how we can say in India, judicial system is not independence. And
Yeah.
if I talk about how we got this, think about that. I would like to say there was a person. I'm not saying these things about from my mind. There was a book. It was written by Justice P.B. Sawant, who
PB
was a
Sawan.
former Chief Justice of India. He was a
India.
supreme. He was the judge in. He was justice in Supreme Court of India, and he wrote that how the factors influence the verdict of the persons. Suppose I am a judge. I am Chief Justice of India. Or I am a justice in Supreme Court, and one case comes to me of a company, and I have to go against that judgment. But I have share, or my one of the family members have share. How can I go against them? That will affect the judgment. That will affect the verdict.
Yes.
Anyhow, I have to give the judgment in favor of the company so that my shares will not go down and my family members' shares will not go down. But we don't think about that. Thank you, sir. Over to you, sir.
The Indian judicial system is not independent because they are prejudiced with one is the Indian caste system, which is very much in the minds of the Dvijas who are now at the helm of affairs in Supreme Court as well as all other courts in India, and that is why whenever they go, they uh, hear any cases in the courtroom, their prejudices comes in front, and they behave differently for the people who coming from their background,
Yes,
specifically
sir.
Dujas, and the people coming from Shudra background or let's say other background. They will not give them that kind of treatment which they are giving to the people from their background. So that is how they are prejudiced, and the entire judicial system represented today by the small minority who are who are prejudiced in itself, and that's how the Indian judicial system is not following the constitutional framework provided by which has been envisioned by the constitutional makers. So that was very important, discussion we are having with Advocate Bhim Kishore ji, and he has explained us very different. I mean, he has also talked about P.B. Sawant, who was the Supreme Court lawyer, and he has written a book on it. That how the Indian judicial system is being prejudiced and is being doing by the minority caste. So I mean, Bhim Kishore ji, that was very relevant. That was very much underlined by yourself of how the judicial system in India has been non-independent, is been influenced by the small minorities, and it's been not justifiable to the people of this land. So going forward, since we have this issue, so what do you see how these issues can be tackled by Bahujan Mool Niwasis, and how we go move ahead? I mean, to know to face this challenge in coming years. So what we can do in that aspect? Can you put some light on it?
Yes, sir. First, let me correct you that P.B. Sawant was not a lawyer. He was the justice in Supreme Court who wrote the book. And
Okay.
how we can overcome these things, we have to make the system from where we should appoint the judges. I still remember one matter when it was the Bahujan, I think Narayan, R.K. Narayan, K.R. Narayan, when he was the president of India, When the list of the judges came in front of him, he said that where are the other who has a 90% of the population? And at that time, Chief Justice Hegde, he was the Chief Justice of India, and Indian what we Indian news system. To, what do we have the similar words of that? Media, Indian media. Sorry,
Yeah.
Indian media. Indian media spread the news that Indian Prime Minister, Indian President is not listening to the Chief Justice of India. They were telling, they were feeling, they were spreading the wrong rumors. They were spreading rumors that in what is written, Chief Justice of India will ask from the President of India, and he will appoint the Chief Justice of Justice in the Supreme Court. But what happened when the K.R. Narayan sir asked where are the Bahujans in this list? He said that it is not mandatory. It is you have to ask. You cannot force anybody, but it is mandatory. You have to ask President of India that he will suggest who will come in the judiciary system. If person is not belonging to your category, I am definitely sure if you can see easily the history of the India, everyone promotes on their own caste person. So before that, we have to abolish caste system in India. And in judicial, if you talk about judicial independence, it is not about India. In every country, it is happening, but they are not facing so much problem because 10 in India, the person who are in minority, they are ruling 90% of person. And if we see more than 95% are in jail from Bahujan Samaj. It does not mean that they are the criminals, but this is the you can see
The
because we
cases
don't
with
have
them is lying in the court. Yes.
because sir we don't have adequate representation in the court. I have seen so many things. If we talk about the police, what they do if the person is belonging from their caste, they say the surname. Okay, you are from our surname, and you are Sharma, Verma, Gupta. Okay, you can just leave. We will just manage. We will do these things. But if we talk about if someone comes from other things and he cannot give money or could not settle the things, they will say you have to go to the court. And what happens in the court? Where if you have just read the Kisan Ka Koda and Phule Sahab wrote the book
Yeah,
where
yeah.
he mentioned that how Brahmanism is established, how in each and every post Brahmins were occupied. They occupied each and every post, and when the person came to them, what they do? If the person belong from the same category, they do take. We will give you money, and you have to go to the court. And when we go to the court, you will see the advocate is from their community and judge
Yes.
from their community.
Yes.
It was completely exploitation. It was completely exploitation. And when the Britishers went from India, it was talked by the Baba Sahab or other forefathers of the Bahujan Samaj that now they are giving power from Gore Britishers to black Britishers because they were outsiders and they are Brahman Kshatriya Vaishyas are also outsiders and having minimum 10% and they are ruling us, they are giving us judgments against in our favor, and they are just completely destroying the spirit of the constitution. Like in 1991 they give Mandal Commission that now 27% for the OBCs, and now they have creamy layer, and for SCs they have bifurcation. They are saying that you have to SCs will be divided. Because why they
Yeah.
are giving so much
Classification.
this type of judgments? Because we don't have adequate representation, and the person somehow managed to go there. He has the influence of other judges. If we talk about in Supreme Court, I think there are 37 judges and one Chief Justice of India. If somehow one or two minority or Bahujan Samaj, Bahujan Mulnimasi justice go there, he has the influence of others. I don't think that he can just give independent
Yeah, he cannot
judgment.
be independent. Yes, he will be
Yeah, he
influenced
cannot
by
give
the
independent
minority.
judgment. So how first we have to abolish the caste system in India. If we succeed in this, we will definitely make judicial system independent. Otherwise, we will have the we will suffer for a long time, sir. We will suffer for a long time. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, yeah, very well said. I mean, we have to first bring in the equitable platform for everybody, and let the let the judicial system have a, they have a system which chooses everybody from the society, not only from the small minority sections who are now prejudiced, and who give this who give the justice based on their prejudices, their understanding of the society. So very rightly said, Bhim Kishore. You have put on a very important subject, and hopefully we will have further discussion on this subject, since we are seeing a lot of Supreme Court decisions is been discussed with in the common man, about a lot of discussion past 2 3 years regarding the democratic institutions and all what is happening with so many facets of society. So we are seeing it, and more discussion could happen in the common man. So this is our small, opportunity we are taking to, start this discussion, and let the people of the Mool Nivasi Bahujan talk about the judicial independence of our Indian judicial system. So thankful. So we are so much thankful for you, Bhim Kishore. Thank you for coming and suggesting this topic, and deliberating on this, and clarifying why it is very important for Bahujan Mool Nivasi people to pursue for independent judicial system as envisioned by our constitutional makers. Dear friends, today's discussion you can watch in our MNT News Network. Please share the link of this discussion with your friends, family, and your near ones, so that they come across this discussion, see and think about it, and the Renaissance era of Bahujan Mool Nivasi on this subject could start. So thank you so much, everybody, all our viewers. Stay connected. We are going to come with such subjects in futures also. Every Sunday we have at 8:30 English discussion on English subjects, with our guests. So stay tuned, and please share this link once again with all your friends and circles, and please watch and like and subscribe to the MNT News Network. Thank you so much. Thank you, Bhim Kishore ji, for joining. Jai Bhim, Jai Mool Nivasi, Jai Samvidhan to all of you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much. Jai Bhim, Jai Mool Nivasi, Jai Bharat, Jai Samvidhan.
Thank you. Thank you so much.